Hi, everyone. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through a heart opening yin yoga sequence. This is a great practice for those of you who have been coming regularly, and also absolutely for new people because we're not going to use a lot of props today. I do recommend having a block or two. If you don't happen to have a block, though, go ahead, bring some couch cushions or pillows. Maybe bring a rolled up towel. I'm just looking for ways to find a little bit of a lift from the floor up to your body. And let's go ahead and get started in a comfortable, easy seated position of your choice. So, my comfortable, easy seated position is cross legged, but yours might be having your legs out in front of you or any sort of variation. If you're feeling really tight in the back of the legs, in the hamstrings, or if you find that you're seated in this comfortable position and your knees are coming all the way up to your armpits, go ahead, lift yourself up on a prop, whether that be a block or if you just happen to have a towel that you folded over. Getting a teeny little bit of a lift can already help to open up your hips. We're going to get started right here in Sukhasana in our comfortable, easy seated position. So take the next couple moments to just tune into your breath. Starting the timer over here. All right. So since you've been here breathing for a moment or two, the next thing I want you to do is check in on the quality of your breath. Where is it going? Where is it flowing? It's really normal if you're new to practice or if you've been having a hard day, that you're finding a lot of your breaths just be up at the top of your chest and your throat. So I want you to take these next couple of breaths and work to send it all the way down to the bottom of your diaphragm. Work towards finding the expansion of your belly on your inhale, as opposed to a rising of your shoulders towards your ears. When our shoulders rise up towards our ears, that tends to be a sign of a lot of tightness and stress that we're so tight while we're taking that breath. So, as much as you can, relaxing shoulders down away from your ears, taking these big belly breaths, and now starting to tune into a little bit more of how your body feels today. What position are you sitting in? Did you find that you're hunching over a little? Puts a lot of stress into that uh, mid low back. Maybe you're overarching your back a lot, putting some stress into your throat and a little extra kink in your neck. Do your best to stack your head over your hips, include your heart at the center. Can you bring your ears on top of your shoulders? You might want to draw your hands back a little bit closer towards your hips if they were further up towards your knees. And that can help you to roll your shoulders down and back to find that lift. A gentle engagement of your front side to keep your back side feeling good, but still plenty of room to expand your belly on each breath. We got just about 1 minute left right here. So, this is a yin yoga practice, and yin yoga is about creating stillness, both physically and mentally. So, internal and external stillness working to happen. If your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So, if you find that your eyes are wandering, maybe take a moment to close them. Or if you're staring at something that seems somewhat unpleasant, like your desk or a pile of clothes, just examples, not me. Go ahead and close your eyes. or just that soft, gentle gaze at one spot. Work to keep these long, slow, deep breaths throughout the rest of your practice. We're going to come into some stretches that might be a little uncomfortable. In fact, they should be a little uncomfortable. So, not might, they should, they will. But they're temporary. They're temporary, and we're going to use our breath to just get through the moment together. All right. They're not all going to be bad, though. Next up, we've got a reclined butterfly. Think about bringing your props. We're going to lay down on our backs and then bring the soles of the feet together. Knees fall open to the side. Take a moment to really check in with yourself, head to toe. Relax the back of your head, really relaxing your shoulders on the mat. Relaxing as much of your mid and lower back as possible. And we're going to be here for the next, let's go for 4 minutes. Find a place where your arms feel comfortable and really just work to take out the fidget. Involuntary movements are okay. Like your chest is still going to rise and fall, and your belly might rise and fall as well from your big breaths, but you're working to create some sort of a stretch in your hips. If you don't feel it, maybe you bring your uh, heels a little closer towards the center line of the body. Maybe you use those props a little bit less. And hopefully that helped you to find more of a noticeable stretch. If at any point your noticeable stretch becomes painful, if you find that you're holding your breath because of the stretch, ease out, find a new point of stillness. If you find that your mind is still drifting to anything besides this moment right now, tune back in towards your breath, using your inhale to really notice how your body is feeling, and using your exhale to let go of expectations, to imagine breathing in more space to your tight spots. And if you still find that your mind is wandering, know that that's normal. Every day is different. Some days it's so easy to create the stillness and tune into your breath. And other days it can be really hard. So just meet yourself right here, right now, on your mat, wherever you are, and take pride in showing up for yourself. Final minute right here. We also dove right into some longer holds today. We got a couple shorter stretches coming up next, a little opportunity to move a little bit. Now's the perfect time, though, to set an intention for your practice. Perhaps it's a phrase that you'll repeat to yourself to remind yourself how amazing you are and why you came today. And perhaps it's truly just the intention of being present, doing your best. Okay, we're going to take our time, make our way into tabletop. I like to take a wiggle of my fingers and toes to just awaken the extremities and then move slowly, but also like move with a purpose. We're trying to get there, but like we're getting there. We're getting there like we're on vacation, relaxing. All right. We got some cat cow coming up next. I'm gonna tuck my shirt in, like the amazing winner that I know that I am. Great. And then hands, palms down on the floor. Go ahead, spread your fingers really wide, like a starfish, and actively push into your hands, palms. Take a moment in a delightful tabletop first, and then find whatever cat cow feels good for you. So maybe you're keeping your elbows mostly locked and just manipulating through your spine and finding, some nice stretches through your throat and the back of the neck. Maybe you're shaking your hips a little side to side. You got a little over 1 minute to do what feels good. We've got a long hold child's pose coming up next. What it feels so good is what I hope you're thinking to yourself right now. Last minute in this uh, cat cow. How lovely that Uncle Buck has joined us today for class. He's been sleeping out here with Fred. They only take it slightly personally. I think it's nice that they're spending time together. All right, open your knees as wide as you want. Think about bringing a prop with you as you sink your hips back towards your heels and you walk your hands forward as much as feels appropriate today for your child's pose. You can stretch your arms all the way forward. Get a big stretch into your shoulders, or maybe you sink your forearms down towards the floor and you focus a little bit more about stretching your glutes towards your heels. You might like to have your head up on a prop. That way, all of the fluid doesn't drain straight up towards it. Or, maybe today's the day you want to have your head all the way down towards the floor. Awesome. Select one of those options. We're here for 3 more minutes. So create a noticeable stretch somewhere. Remember, it's your choice if you're making the stretch more in your shoulders or if you're really working to bring that stretch more to the low back and into your hips. But it should be noticeable and it might be uncomfortable and it should not be painful. You should still be enjoying your long, slow, deep breath. And no matter what, work to make your exhale just a little bit longer. It's going to help to lower your heart rate and encourage feelings of relaxation. I do apologize if my breath is a lot louder than usual. Still just do my best to fully recover from COVID. Personally, I have noticed during yoga practices that instead of my breath being a relaxing sound of the ocean, I feel like my breath sounds more like when a window is open in a car while you're driving. So if you hear that as well, I am just so sorry. All right, we're going to increase the stretch in the upper back and chest and slide forward a bit to come into puppy pose. So if your arms were all the way behind you, start to bring your arms gently forward. Maybe elbows are just in line with your shoulders, because you can keep your hands really far out, like nice and wide, like match with distance, to make this a little bit easier. And you might still need your prop. Maybe you bring your chest down onto your block as you work to stack your um, hips a little more on top of your heels. I like this with the chin on the block as well. All right, we're going to be in this puppy pose, really big upper back opener for just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. You've already been working your way into it, so a little more than a minute to go. Relax your eyes. It's a big stretch. It helps if you actively apply a little pressure into your knees, into your shins, so that you're like lifting your hips, like as if we were doing down dog from the knees. And that way you can enjoy a bit of a back stretch instead of a bit of a like low back stretch instead of just in the upper back shoulder blades. Last two breaths. Awesome. Gently move forward a little and then start to walk your hands back in. We're coming back into tabletop. Find your flat, amazing tabletop. And then a couple cat cows. Does it feel different this time through doing cat cow? Maybe you notice, maybe you don't. Both are okay. That's what's so great about yoga. It's just a practice. We're just moving our bodies, changing our breath. And I really believe that taking the time to change your breath, changing your mental channel makes such a difference. Also, we're creating extra space. We're moving the lymph around. Awesome. All right. We're going to take a big reach, getting a nice stretch into our lats. So, still here from tabletop, keep your right hand where it is and start to walk your left hand over to the right side of the mat. And then sink your hips back towards your heels, and your left glute can come a little closer towards your left heel. So you should really feel a big noticeable stretch from your hip to your shoulder, and then again from your shoulder up towards your hands palm. And we're here for another minute and a half. So do your best to relax through the lower half of the body. Use your right arm for support, however it feels most comfortable. You can allow your head to relax down towards the floor. And hopefully you're doing a bit of a better job creating some stillness than I am right here. Just emphasizing a big stretch through the left side of the body. All right, carefully bring your left hand back in. Press yourself into your tabletop for just another moment. Flat tabletop, then one cat, one cow. Neutral tabletop once again. And then start to walk your left hand over to the right side of the mat. Right glute comes closer towards right heel. Really sink back. Allow your chin to fall towards your chest. Emphasize the stretch by actively stretching and pushing a little from the right hip to the right side. We got a little more than a minute and a half to go. Sorry, a little less. A little less. Doesn't that already sound better? Start a body scan from head to toe. Check in with your tense spots. It's very normal for them to go back to their usual tense positions. For me, my shoulders love to creep up towards my ears. So I'm always focusing on actively relaxing the back. And that's just a great distracting story during the stretch for you to think about where your tension rises so you can actively relax that as well. Okay, bring your right hand back in, back through to center. We're going to walk ourselves all the way forward and come into Sphinx pose. Yay. So if you can bring your elbows underneath of your armpits, great. And if you need to walk your hands out a little bit further and bring your chest down towards the floor, also awesome. And if that's still too much of a stretch in your low back and you need to just relax your head on your hands, you can do that too. We're just taking a couple more breaths. And by a couple more breaths, I mean another like 2 minutes. Right here in Sphinx. It's yin, so you can tuck your chin to your chest. You can place your head on the block, or you can emphasize the stretch and just enjoy it in the back, because that's what we're going for. Gentle squeeze of shoulder blades towards each other. Maybe you're keeping your chin neutral to the floor. How much can you relax your glutes, relax your feet? Remember, if at any point the stretch does get too intense, you can always release yourself a little closer to your mat. Keep that belly button pressing down to the mat, just a hair more than a minute to go. Final minute. It was a long hair. What can I say? On your next exhale, release yourself all the way down towards the mat. Make a pillow with your hands. Place your forehead on the pillow. Bend your knees and allow them to windshield wipe in opposite directions. All right. Stretch a little bit more through the lower half of the body as we finish. Next up, we've got half frog. You can start with whichever leg you want. I'm going to start with my right leg. So bending the right leg up, work to bring your right knee in line with your right hip. Or just do your best. What feels like it's in line. And then right heel in line with your right knee, and then flex your foot, a nice flat foot, so that your toes are in line with your heel. Apply a little bit of pressure of your inner thigh towards the floor so you actually feel a stretch happening through your groin. Maybe you already felt it and you don't need to apply that extra pressure. But if you didn't, push down a little bit from that inner thigh. Ooh. This is the last of the long holds that we have for today. Just under 3 minutes to go here. So feel free to maybe get a nice little stretch in your neck and turn and face the direction of your bent knee, still having your head on your hands. So I'm creating a 90-degree angle with my arms as well. A gentle little back opener. And my extended leg is as relaxed as possible. I just keep checking in and relaxing that glute. Excuse me. Okay, take your time, straighten whichever leg you bent. Back out, bring your two legs together, turn back down to the mat. Take a moment and out. And then after a breath or two, start to bend your leg. Let's come on back into half frog on the other side. Excuse me, Uncle. There's room for both. All right. Carefully making your way into half frog once again, lining your knee up with your hip, lining your hip heel up with your knee, and then flexing your toes, applying a little bit of pressure of that inner thigh down towards the mat. At just about 3 minutes to go. I don't think you can quite see what a great time Fred is having destroying a box. She is my best little recycler. Remember, you have the option to get this nice stretch in your neck, turning one temple towards the floor. Final minute right here. Sorry, everyone. Oh, I hope you created the most amazing stillness. Go ahead, start to bring your legs back together. Let's press ourselves back up into Sphinx. That's right. Deep thoughts. All right. So you can take another quick little stretch right here in Sphinx, or you can challenge yourself a little bit extra to even push into your hands, palms. Ooh, still keeping your belly on the floor, still keeping shoulders away from ears, and be in seal. Even stretching your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling, a big stretch on the throat. We got a little over 1 minute right here. All right, carefully start to release your chest back down towards the mats. Bring your hands in, Close by your chest. We're going to press ourselves up into a plank and then into down dog. So tuck your toes under behind you. You can press up from your knees. I'm going to press up from my knees. This is yin. Let's be kind to ourselves. And then tuck those toes under. Send your hips up towards the ceiling. You can shorten your step. Take a minute, pedal through your heels. Really think about bringing your biceps by your ears. So, really pressing into your hands to stretch your glutes towards the wall behind you and finding as long of a line as you can from your hips to your hands. So, maybe you generously bend your knees as if you were pressing into a child's pose, but like off of the floor. And then you can lift your hips up as much as feels. So take these next couple of breaths to still find a little bit of movement. And then we're going to challenge ourselves to take 1 minute of stillness in this down dog. Ready? Go ahead, find your stillness. Really squeeze your shoulder blades together, down and back. So shoulders, once again, should not be drawing up towards your ears, having the back engaged. We're getting a big back shoulder stretch. We're getting a big hamstring stretch. Find one spot to relax your eyes or close them. Your next exhale, slowly start to come back down into tabletop. And from there, we're going to roll over, come onto our backs. Take your time on the way down, one vertebrae at a time, and then draw your knees up to your chest. Great. Relax your shoulders away from your ears again, so elbows stretch down towards your hips. As much of the back of your head, back of your neck, tops of your shoulders on the floor as you can. Really sink that upper back down into your mat. One more big inhale here. And on your exhale, you can release the soles of the feet to the floor. You can do them both at the same time or one at a time. Go ahead. Stretch your arms out to the side. Maybe press into your heels. Readjust yourself. If you didn't see it coming, next up, we've got a spine twist. So pressing up, rolling over towards one hip, and then dropping your knees to the side. Maybe you place a block under your knees. Maybe you place a block between your legs. Maybe you don't use any sort of block at all. You can once again get a little stretch for your neck if you turn and look in the opposite direction of your knees. Create some space with shoulders away from your ears. And then take your time, roll to your back once again. Reground through your feet, round through your lower back. Take a breath or two, and then press into your feet. Roll to the opposite side. Feel free to bring that block with you. Stack your hips as much as you can, as much as feels right for you today. And if you want that extra stretch in your neck, turn and look in the opposite direction. Remember, both sides of the body are not the same, even here at the end as we're at our most open that we've been so far in today's practice. When I say that, to just be kind to yourself. A stretch does not need to look the same on one side versus the other. Okay, take your time. Let's roll over onto our backs once again. Ground the back of your head and your shoulders into the floor. Get as much of your mid and lower back on the mat as feels good. If your back has been hurting, it might feel great to keep your legs bent as they are. If you want, you can straighten your legs out as we come into a final Savasana. If you want to stay nice and narrow on your mat, that's an option. Or you can open your arms, open your legs as wide as feels good for you today. We're going to spend the next 3 minutes here in a complete stillness and silence. Awesome. Stay right here. That was 3 beautiful minutes in a final Savasana. We'll close out class on the floor in Savasana as I encourage you to just treat yourself to staying here a little bit longer. If you have any questions or concerns about anything I said or we did today, I hope you'll reach out so we are together again. Think good thoughts, speak good words, eat good foods, do good deeds. Take the time to nourish yourself from the inside out because you are. Decide right now if you're going to stay in Savasana for a little bit longer. Maybe it's one breath, maybe it's five, maybe it's till your mind is quiet. But I shall bid you adieu from right here. Thank you so much for coming and making this time and space for your physical and mental health. I hope you know that the light within me honors, sees, and is so thankful for the light within you. Let's all just keep showing up. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.